Hello, my name is Justine Ramos, and today we're going to talk about standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Standard deviation measures the amount of dispersion or variation of a set of data values. It lets you see a range of averages, which allows you a more realistic look at how the world works, or to basically understand how spread out a data set is. So how do you calculate for standard deviation? It's as easy as 5 simple steps. First, we have to find the mean. Step 2, for each data point, subtract it to the mean and find the square of its distance to the mean. Step 3, sum the values from step 2. Step 4, divide the number of data points, and the last, find the square root. For example, I want to find out what is the average time that my coworkers spend on social media. In this example, my coworkers have each given me the amount of time they spend on social media on a single day. This is just an example. So for the 5 coworkers, the numbers that they have given me are 5, 8, 2, 4, and 6 hours. These numbers will represent your data points or data sets. So first, we write down what we have as far as our data. Currently, we have 5, 8, 2, 4, 6 hours as our numbers. They will represent our data set or data point value. And this is the formula that we normally use to solve for standard deviation. Now, bear with me as I write this down. It does take me a while. So for step 1, we have to find the mean. And we can achieve that by adding our data points. So 5 plus 8 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 25. And we divide that number by the number of data points that we have, which is 5. So we divide 25 by 5 and we get 5. 5 is our mean. So x bar equals 5. And the x bar in this equation represents our mean. So I'm just going to change that to 5. Step 2 is to subtract the mean to your data point, i.e. the deviations, and square each of those distances. Now let me just erase this part so it'll be much clearer. So now that we have found our mean, which is 5, we subtract that number to our data points. And our data points, again, are the same numbers located above. So 5 minus 5, 8 minus 5, and so on. This is the part of the equation in the formula. So then we get the numbers 0, 3, 3, 1, and 1. And don't forget to square them. So the final answer will be 0, 9, 9, 1, and 1. Step 3. Sum the values from step 2. This symbol represents sum. So in this step, we're going to add the 5 values we have found on step 2. So we add 0 plus 9 plus 9 plus 1 plus 1. And that equals 20. Step 4. Divide the number of data points. Again, this is pretty simple. This is the part that we are in the formula. And in this step, we divide the results from step 3 by the variable n. N is going to represent the number of data points. So the data points that we have above. So in this case, we have 5. So now that we have the answer to that part of the formula, our equation is going to look more like this. So it is 20 divided by n, and again, the number of data points in the example, it's going to be 5. So it will be 20 divided by 5. Now we're nearing the very end of this step, which is finding the square root. If you are a math genius, you can do this in your head, and if you're like me, I would rather prefer using a calculator. So again, we are still in step 4. So we still have to divide the number of data points. So 25 divided by 5 equals 4. So SD equals square root of 4. Now let's not forget the square root is represented by this symbol. You can find this in your calculator. So the square root of 4 is 2. So our standard deviation is going to be 2. So assuming that our data is normally distributed and based on the facts that our standard deviation is 2 with a mean of 5, we can say that my coworkers are possibly spending 3 to 7 hours on social media. And if you're wondering if this is normal or not, the only way we can find out is gathering more information and conducting another standard deviation on a much larger crowd. So that's it. That's how you calculate standard deviation in 5 simple steps. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you next time.